U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese leader Xi Jinping met on the sidelines of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in San Francisco, where the leaders of 21 economies are meeting. And Chris Casquejo is covering the APEC Summit, and he joins us live from San Francisco. Hi, Chris. Good afternoon to you and good evening from us in Jakarta here in Indonesia. So we would like to know what were the major outcomes from the highly anticipated high-stakes meeting between the two superpower leaders.
Good evening from San Francisco. Well, here's one. Biden, in his news conference after the meeting, high-stakes meeting, said that he and Xi will be able to pick up the phone and call each other. Both countries also agreed to reestablish military-to-military communications that had gone by the wayside after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan in August of 2022. And U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin is actually going to visit China's defense minister and meet with him when China names someone to that post. Now, China also agreed that it would vigorously pursue any companies that are involved in the making of precursor chemicals for fentanyl, which is a huge crisis here in the United States. Now, regarding Taiwan, she sought to reassure Biden that China does not want to invade Taiwan in the coming years, and Biden also wanted assurances from Xi that China would not interfere in Taiwan's upcoming elections in January of next year. So they're just coming up in a couple of months.
So while the meeting between Biden and Xi might have overshadowed the APEC summit, there are other stories to report. What are some of the deals you can tell us about and what countries are involved?
Well, actually, Indonesian President Joko Widodo went down the bay to Palo Alto today to Stanford University, where an announcement was made that Stanford will build an institute of research in the new Indonesian capital. Now, there's another deal that many observers were expecting to be announced on the sidelines at this APEC conference, but so far it hasn't been. China is considering lifting its buying freeze on the Boeing 737 MAX plane, which, as of course you know, was involved in two deadly crashes. So China has not bought those planes for 4 years now, but many observers expect that they might begin buying those planes again.
So yeah, this is a Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit that is being held in San Francisco. Obviously, a smaller group of economic ministers met earlier this week, and this gathering is part of the Biden administration's Indo-Pacific strategy for economic management. So what kind of agreements might be forthcoming, if you could share with us?
Well, we're talking about the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, which is a group of 13 countries that the U.S. seeks to engage with economically. Now, U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo revealed that they have reached agreement on one of the pillars of IPEF, which is clean energy, and also on anti-corruption. Now, earlier in the year, the IPEF countries had agreed on starting a supply chain hotline to alert each other about potential supply chain disruptions. Now, there is one snag remaining. It's not expected that the IPEF countries will reach any sort of substantial agreement on trade, and the Biden administration was really hoping to announce some sort of agreement on trade among the IPEF countries as a symbolic gesture that there was a way to compete with China in the region.
Yes, that's such a very interesting points that we have so far from the APEC, and we look forward for more updates from you, Chris. Thank you very much, Chris Casquejo, the VOA correspondent, for sharing with us, and have fun with for the APEC.
You got it.